Stephen, great to have you on set. So what do you make of that? Get over it?
This is Jimmy Fallon, and he's not doing just the read and monologue here. Here he is sitting down with a woman that some people say has killed an awful lot of people, Hillary Clinton.
No more Easter Bunny talk, yeah. I mean, it's Biden versus Trump.
Yes,
we know that.
It is.
What do you say to voters who are upset that those are the two choices?
Get over yourself. Those are the two choices.
Yeah, love that.
Right? And you know, it's kind of like one is old and effective and compassionate, has a heart, and really cares about people, and one is old and has been charged with 91 felonies.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
okay, interesting.
I don't understand why this is even a hard choice, really. I don't understand it. But we have to go through the election, and hopefully people will realize what's at stake, because it's an existential question. What kind of country we're going to have, what kind of democracy we're going to have, and people who blow that off are not paying attention, because it's not like Trump, his enablers, his empowerers, his allies are not telling us what they want to do. I mean, they're pretty clear about what kind of country they want. Yeah. So
get out there and vote.
Get out there and vote.
Which is a good...
Well, that's what this is really about. Get out there and vote.
So I got one more clip for you guys. This is Stephen A., a guy who you sat down with on the PBD podcast last week, Adam, referencing what Hillary said in the clip that we showed you just a moment ago.
Stephen, great to have you on set. So what do you make of that? Get over it?
I don't think it was a very wise statement on her part. How did that work out for her in 2016? I think that's something that we have to recognize. Yes, she won the popular vote, but at the end of the day, she wasn't the president of the United States. It was him. You can look at her not campaigning in Wisconsin in the last days, not campaigning in Pennsylvania in the last days. You can look at some of the stuff that they were saying about her that sort of distracted things from where it should have been in terms of Comey and his report from the FBI. You can bring up a whole bunch of things, but at the end of the day, the last thing you need to do is to do anything that could agitate a potential voter in this particular election.
What do you make about the actual argument that she's making? I mean, she's basically saying two old people, yes, but they're substantively different. I mean, Trump has 91 counts against him. And if you're
nobody's brought that up more than me. Four indictments, 91 counts, impeached twice. I'm not voting for him. I've said that to a lot of people. I've said that to you. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that at some point in time, you got to take into account what the voters thinking about. The voters, a lot of them out there, tens of millions of them out there, by the way, don't care what he's going through right now. They don't care about his guilt or innocence, his perceived guilt or innocence. They don't care about the 91 counts. They're thinking about their lives. And a lot of times we see politicians taking the positions that they're taking, and while we can respect their candor and their honesty, they do seem a bit detached at times from what the voters are actually feeling and what the voters are actually thinking. Nobody wants to hear that from Hillary Rodham Clinton at this particular moment in time.
Adam, let me jump to you first here, because you sat down with him on the podcast last week. But what's interesting particularly about that to me is that he says he's not going to vote for Trump. And I'm sure you guys both saw the clips of Coleman Hughes on The View earlier this week. And he rails against the woke, and then also says he basically won't vote for Trump. So if we're talking about that group of people that we've referenced already here, where do they go? And does that just give us Biden again, because they just won't vote for Trump, which is in a weird way why the machine wanted Trump as the nominee?
This is the billion-dollar question, so to speak, or the amount of money they're going to be spending on advertising for the campaigns, the $100 billion question. By the way, just a little callback fun fact. There is, like we talked about DEI at the beginning, Stephen A. Smith is an absolute monster, incredible what he does, the exact opposite of a DEI guy. He deserves to be where he's at, meritocracy to the finest. His story is ridiculous. He just sat down with us on PBD Podcast.
Right, he's a great broadcaster, and it has nothing to do with his skin color.
He's incredible. What an amazing speaker. I was losing my voice. I'm getting it back now. Sitting down with him, it was like I couldn't have picked a worse day to sit down with an amazing speaker, losing my voice, but we're back on track. But this is the question of our time, because as much as he said, Hillary doesn't get it, wake up, right? You're out of touch, the deplorables. This is the reason that you lost. What are you talking about? Yet, he's still not going to vote for Trump. That's the question. So is RFK the guy? Biden's certainly not going to be his choice. He full on said his mom was a conservative. She would vote for Trump. He just can't do it for one reason and one reason only. And he said it because Trump just don't act right. The personality is so over the top that a lot of people just can't vote for Trump, but it's hard to debate with Trump's policies.